Nice glossy porcelain pulls. It's hard to find the right length of screw. Good morning. It's a new day. We've made a lot of progress on the 3-drawer cabinet. You saw us cut the top, and then what I did off camera is I cut this molding out, 45, and I put it in place with the brad nailer. The thing I wanted to point out is affixing the top to the cabinet is a problem. The problem is that it screws in from this side. There's some screw blocks, but this top is actually made out of fiberboard, MDF, so paper, and it's pretty thin. It's like 1/2 inch thick. So when you put screws in there, you have to make sure that they're not so long that they stick out the top. Obviously, you don't want a screw coming out the top, but not so short that it doesn't grab any of the, because it's just paper. So you want it to go in there to grab enough, but not too much to go all the way through. And it's not very stiff material to grab, so it's really a problem. So what I did is I put a whole bunch of blocks in here and brad nailed them in, and then I glued the whole thing in. Because what I'm afraid of is if this is all loaded with, let's say somebody has a coin collection or something, it's really heavy, and they try to move it and they lift it up by this top, they lift it up by the top, and this cabinet's really heavy, the top's going to detach from the base here. So now I've got a bunch of gluing it on there, plus the molding kind of helps. I glued it on both sides, and lots of screws. So I had to really consider the strength of that material and the thickness. And it was kind of a challenge. So next thing I'm going to do is cover all the screw holes and my little brad points with some filler, and then we'll do some sanding. All right, so let's talk drawers. The drawers that came on this are actually really nice, nicely constructed. Nice little reinforcements in the corners. I mean, they are stapled and it is plywood, but it's pretty good plywood. And yes, nice and strong. Nice drawer faces. So what I did is there's 3 drawers, and it didn't have any pulls on them, but I had these nice glossy porcelain pulls because I keep everything, don't throw things away. So I put those on. The hardest part was finding the right length of screw. Whenever you're doing a pull like that, it's hard to find the right length of screw. So then the next thing I did was I just cleaned up these drawer faces. They had a nice shiny gloss white finish, and I took some Goo Gone. Because they had like paint and stuff like that, like kids, and they had goo and sticky stuff and paint and stuff, and the Goo Gone just took everything off, and I thought I was going to have to repaint them, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to just go with that. So drawer fronts look good. I like the pulls. I think they'll match. The other thing that was wrong with every single one of these drawers was in the back. It had this plastic, this dark brown plastic thing. It had a little clip built into this that holds that rectangle on, and they were all broken. So I think that's kind of a weak point of this particular assembly, and so these were just kind of hanging down. I think when the drawer comes out and it wants to crank this way, and then this wants to stay, and then this tends to pull it out and just break that little piece. So all I did is I just screw in a washer into that plastic piece. I tighten these up a little bit and tighten that up a little bit, and I think they're good to go. So all 3 of them are like that. They've just been sitting over there waiting till I'm done with the cabinet. So we're almost done. We have 1 coat of finish to go and a little bit of sanding, and let me show you that right now. So one of the last things to do before I put the final coat of paint on is I'm just going to sand this. This is the edge that I routered to match here, and I think it blends in pretty nicely in terms of the shape and everything, except for being kind of a particle board top. I was painting this and the paint was just soaking in and soaking in, and I was trying to get like that nice smooth finish. So what I did is I painted this with some paint on, like interior semi-gloss, some like kind of like something you'd paint a bathroom with or whatever. I had some really nice Behr Ultra, so I put a couple of coats on that. I'm just going to sand this to kind of take off some of the high brush strokes, and then I'm going to do the whole thing with the spray can, and this is going to be the last coat, and then it would be let dry and put in the drawers and put it in place. So I'm just taking some 400, just trying to take off the high points of any brush strokes. I'm not really going to be able to get it perfectly glossy, but I think enough so the casual observer would probably not notice that this was done at a different time. And let me just put a little bit of tape on these, just so I don't have to scrape it off. These are just the guides, I guess you'd call them. The drawer kind of runs along the top of these. My thing there. Okay. Out of the way. Okay, so I need to have a moment of silence. One's my wallet, fortunately. Yeah, my wallet took a hit with this project. I thought that I wasn't gonna have to spend any money on this, but unfortunately I had to. So in the previous part of this video, I had said that there was a little clip that held this in, and I just need to put a screw there. What I didn't realize is that this whole top is broken off. The top part of this is broken off on all of the drawers. And what it does is it kind of rides like this, and if somebody pushes down on the drawer, there's little ears here and they take all the pressure. They kind of look like this. And so if there's weight in the drawer, somebody pushes it and it just is going to break right there every time. It's kind of a bad design. So I didn't really even know that this had more to it. I didn't even know what it looked like. I thought I just put that there, but then there's nothing that when the other track comes in, because there's like the other track that's attached to the cabinet, when it comes in, there's nothing for that to ride in, because the track rides in those little grooves right there. So it didn't work. I put them in there and they just flopped all around and I couldn't figure out why, and then I realized that because it was missing a big part of that, and each one of them was broken exactly the same spot. And so I was like, darn. So I had a whole bunch of different thoughts in my head. I would put a bracket to hold it in. I even had these little things and I was going to bend it around and make my own little thing. And I tried a couple of iterations of it and none of it really worked. And in the end, I went online and Amazon had them, and you could get a whole kit with this piece and then its mating piece that this goes in the actual cabinet. Each set was $5 each, so I bought 3 of those. So set me back $15, which is probably more than this whole cabinet is worth, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. But there's kind of a cool side to this. when I went on there, I didn't just buy these new ones here. It also came with this piece here, which is the coolest thing ever. It's a metal backer. And what it does is it goes on here. So you put this on, this goes on here, and then it goes on the back of the drawer like that. So when it's riding along and it gets pressure to pull down, these little metal ears support the plastic runner. And this is like an upgrade. And the holes line up and it fits in there really nice. And it's gonna make like a really nice upgrade for the drawers. So I just couldn't pass that up. I thought that was pretty neat. And we'll go ahead and put those on the 3 drawers and try them out in the cabinet and see how it works. Good. Okay, so this is the way it came. And it's got these cheesy screws. And if you notice, I don't know if you notice this, if you notice right here, these screws go in at a stupid angle and they crack this piece, and I don't know who put this on, but they are not smart. I mean, it was kind of a good design. Look at how nicely these things are designed. They have reinforcements and everything in all the corners, and it's great. And then they just, I don't know, they just hack this on. Okay, so now the holes are all kind of whacked out and in the wrong place. So not going to use these little screws. What it comes with are these nice flat heads that support the plastic really nicely. So let's see, how does this go? Sorry. That goes like that. And this goes like this and slides on there. All right, and we're going to put this screw in here to the crookedest hole in the world. I guess we'll keep the crooked holes in there, which kind of bother me, but all right. That looks pretty nice. I think that's ready to go on. Now, not like before. Okay, and then I'll just do the same thing with the second one. And hopefully it'll all work according to plan. The kit also came with these pieces, so I'm taking these off. Goes right there. Taking them off. And the one thing that I noticed about this is that it didn't really have a washer or anything. So when you tightened up the screw, it tended to kind of split this apart and kind of splay it out. Where the new kit, the improved, comes with screws like this. And I'm like, yes, that's how, the nice wide head. So we're going to go ahead and put those in there. They fit kind of nice and tight, and put new ones in both of those. And I've already done this one up here, and it should be a really nice improvement. Unfortunately, I can't fit my electric screwdriver in there. I'm kind of down to the old standby. But that's okay. We can do it that way. I think what I'll do is put a little bit of Molly grease on my little wheel there once I get it in. little ollie grease. And we'll just grease that up, maybe these sides a little bit. And that's it. And then we'll do the same thing with this one, and we'll be done. And I think what I'm also going to do is put a little bit of grease on these. These are kind of like nylon slider pads, and they really don't need it, but I think I will. And maybe on some of the tracks as well, just for the heck of it. What's behind drawer number 2? Let's see how this is going to fit. So that goes there. Wow, that fits pretty nice. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, so a little bit of fiddling here and there. And I got the drawers pretty well lined up. They all seem to work pretty good. And they are greased up and have nice new runners. And I think they're aligned pretty well too. I think that came out really great. So we'll be able to pack all of Willy's stuff in there, right buddy? And he'll have a nice place to keep all of his certain personal effects, right? Every guy needs to have a dresser, right? Right, buddy? Anyway, so that I think that just about does it for this project. It was really fun. Something new, different, weird, whatever. Spent a little bit of money on it, but I think it came out really nice. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And anyway, see you next time on Scott's Garage. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. What do you think, buddy? Should we move in? Should we move in? Put all of your stuff in there? I think we should. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's cool. Okay, let's go get your stuff. All right.